Nicole. November is over, if you can believe it. This month just flew by, so that means it's time to do my November wrap up. These are all the books that I've read in the month of November. I read 12 and a half books. It was one book less than I read last month, but I didn't read any fan fiction either, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. One book that I read in the month of November is Starcrossed by W.A. Fulkerson. I actually did a full video review of this book, and that link is in the description if you want to go ahead and watch it and see what I thought. But just a quick synopsis, I really enjoyed this book, not as much as I enjoyed the first book in this series, but I still gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next book I read is Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Nevin. I actually did a buddy read with this book with Rihanna at Rihanna Reads. Her channel is also linked in the description. I think I'm gonna do a full video review on this one. I know Rihanna said she did want to do a full video review, but I don't think she did it yet. I really enjoyed this book. It started off very strong. The two main characters were so well written. The female protagonist is hilarious. She's witty and sassy, and I love her so much. What kind of made it fall flat for me was towards the end, the writing wasn't as strong and the plot wasn't as strong. There was a lot of cliche YA moments in this book, like one member of the couple saying, "No, we can't be together, it's for your own good, blah, blah, blah," snore. Like, we haven't, you know, seen that in a dozen other YA books, and it's just, I believe it's a cop-out just to find some extra drama to throw into the book. The ending, it was an ending. I mean, it's not like it left you hanging or anything, but it just wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. And I was kind of disappointed because, like I said, it started off super strong. The beginning was amazing. There were some points where I literally laughed out loud during this book, and the fact that it fell flat towards the end kind of adjusted my star review on it. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next books that I read in the month of November are books 9 through 18 in the Dark Hunter series by Sherilyn Kenyon. As you know, I'm trying very hard to read through this series by the end of the year. I think I'm a little bit behind schedule just because I didn't read as many books as I wanted to this month, and I picked up another book that wasn't in my sequence of books to read. Some of the later books in this series are fairly large. They're not gonna be fast reads like this 300-page book here. Some of them are like 600, 700, 800 pages that I have to get through. So December is gonna be kind of difficult for me to try to finish the rest of this series. I think I still have, how many more books in this series do I have? I have to go find out. All right, I'm back. You can see this list. Everything that's not highlighted, I still have to read. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 books. That means I'm really gonna have to push this next month. I honestly don't think I'm gonna make it, but wish me luck, fingers crossed. In that last round of books, I gave most of them 3 out of 5 stars. They were kind of short. They probably could have been novellas instead of full-length novels because they were mostly side characters. I mean, not the first group of characters you meet in the first couple of books in this series. The 2 books that I really wanted to reread in this last chunk were Acheron and Bad Moon Rising. In Acheron, he is someone you meet in the very first book. He is kind of the leader of the Dark Hunters, and he is very mysterious and very powerful, and you kind of wonder what his story is. This is the book you finally get to find out after, this is book 15 in the series. So books 1 through 14, you're wondering about this guy because he's in every single book, and you're just wondering, like, what is this guy's story? I mean, you learn bits and pieces here and there throughout the books, but finally he gets his own story, and look how thick this mother is. I mean, really, exactly 800 pages. I mean, in this edition. So for 14 books, you're just dying for information and backstory on this character. And then finally you get it. And do you get it? You get the mother lode. So definitely worth the wait. 5 out of 5 stars on this book. Love this character. The other book was Bad Moon Rising. This is about a brother that we meet in book 7. And this is book 18. So again, you're playing the waiting game. You want to know their story because, like I said, you get to learn little tidbits here and there, but you finally get their story. And this is another mother book. Holy moly. How many pages? I mean, it's not as big as Acheron, but holy. Nearly 500 pages in this edition. So you go from little books like this, barely 300, to massive books like these two. And you really get a good chunk of story, good chunk of plot, character development. These are the books that we want to read in these kind of series. So the other books were kind of just, I flew through them just because I wanted to get through them because they were part of the series to get to these books and to get to the other books that I haven't read yet. My half a book and my 12 and a half books in the month of November is a book that I started but did not finish, and that is Armada by Ernest Cline. That is a book club book, and I started reading it on the 30th. Yeah, but I didn't finish it that day. I still haven't finished it. I'm still working on it. I'm liking it so far. It's very good. I didn't buy a copy of it just because on Goodreads I read so many bad reviews about it, so I just borrowed it from the library. So, but I'm liking it so far. I'm about halfway through. It's very gripping. I mean, I love sci-fi and fantasy, and that's what Ernest Cline writes. And if you read Ready Player One, I wouldn't put it on par with Ready Player One, but it is very good. So that's it. Those are all the books that I read in the month of November. I did one less book than I did last month. And if I'm going to be on track with my own personal readathon to finish the Dark Hunter series by the end of the year, I have to read 18 books in December. Here I go, wish me luck for that last push. My next video is probably gonna be my November book haul, so keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to like my video if you did and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, avid readers.